what's going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. And today I'm gonna do my episode Dragon Ball Super episode 26 review. So the fighting heats up. Goku is on the ground there. He says he's just, now for the real stuff, because Frieza's like, up and everything like that. He's just winning at this point. You got Bulma choking Jocko there. Whis and Beerus, they're still eating the sundae. It's almost gone there. Yeah, eventually Gohan, everyone wants to help out because Goku is struggling there, but Beerus and Whis says you're just going to get in his way. The only person that probably can help is Vegeta, but they don't want to work together there, because they're, rivals, they're still rivals. Goku's fighting Golden Frieza. There's a lot of, moments talking. They do show some flashbacks here and there. Of how Frieza was humiliated by the hope of the universe, Goku. They're reliving the old fight there, people. And Goku was like the Super Saiyan, or becomes the Super Saiyan. One thing that I thought was really interesting, they mentioned how Frieza was like, I was on the cusp of immortal, of being the god, and shit like that. I wonder why Frieza doesn't want to be immortal anymore. Like, wasn't that like a goal for him? So, like, he claims that if he defeats Goku and Vegeta and whatnot, that he's just going to move on and destroy the Dragon Balls altogether there. But why not go after the Dragon Balls and actually become immortal? You know what I mean there? Because isn't that his goal before he destroys the Dragon Balls? Wouldn't he want to be immortal there? I guess not, apparently, according to Frieza there. But so he was humiliated, and he said he wanted to seek his revenge the moment, Goku shot the blast back at him and said, "You fool!" I loved how they used that. It was kind of similar to the way they did it in the original dub. It's like, "You fool!" There. Not sure. Someone told me that the flashbacks are probably just reanimated, because we've been debating on if it's Kai or Z or there, but I don't know for sure. But because I just don't, like, Dragon Ball never was HD'd, and they showed a flashback of Dragon Ball a while back, so that really doesn't put the argument out there for it. So Goku, is fighting Frieza. They're powering up. Blast attacks. Not really that much interaction from anyone else. The couple of moments, bites here and there. Bulma is like, yelling at Vegeta, "Why aren't you helping? We need to, get rid of him here. This is our planet. Help him out so we can finish him off." Because obviously if Goku and Vegeta work together, they could easily beat Frieza, but they don't want to do that because Goku wants to do it on his own because he's the man. He's the man, you know what I mean there. He's got pride, people. A real superhero pride, if you know what I mean. Well, fighting pride too. Well, no, because he's a fighting superhero, So he wants to do it himself, of course, because that's, what they do. Unless they have to. unless they have to. You know, when they had to like go up against Boo. When they had to go up against Boo, they had to work together. We all know what happened there, with the fusion shit there, but they don't have to do that here because, you know what I mean? Goku can take them. So, powering up, eventually Goku realizes he realizes that Frieza has a weakness there, and he starts to exploit it. He tells him, your weakness and shit. He starts, Goku starts getting a little overconfident there because he pretty much knows that this fight's over. Frieza can't beat me, because his power's starting to die down, and then Vegeta's just like, you're taking too long. I want to turn. Vegeta's impatient, because that's Vegeta for you. He's impatient. He wants to crack at Golden Frieza there, but Goku's like, no, I can do it. Just a teensy little bit more there. Time for me. I can do it. I can take him out there. So that was going on. Because, Goku was ready for that. Like I said, Beerus and Whis, they're kind of on the sidelines. They're just, watching it, and, they're, talking about it while they're eating their ice cream as usual there. But, Goku's, shooting the blast. Jocko's just like, I don't know what the thing is with Bulma and Jocko, but like I just gotta say this right now, Vegeta, you better watch out because there's something like really weird going on there. Just saying. Hey. All I'm gonna say is Bulma has been holding on Jocko for like the last 3 goddamn episodes. That's all I'm gonna say. Vegeta better be watching out, or maybe Jocko should be watching out because, like, holy shit, like, Bulma has been just, like, cradling this I'm sorry. He has been cradling this man, like, Bulma has been cradling Jocko like it's no tomorrow. I'm just saying. I don't know how to have any speculation, but I'm just saying, like, she has been, like, pulling on this guy, Like, I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. Just all I'm saying. So, yeah. Anyways, back to the fight. They're shooting blasts there, and because they're powering up. Goku, he's powering up to his his Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan form, because he had reserve power, and Frieza's starting to power up, because he's like, oh, I knew you had power and stuff like that, and Goku is just like, he didn't want to use it right now, so he didn't use it. There was no sighting from Trunks and Gotenks in this episode either, Trunks and Gotenks in this episode as well. They didn't include them. I don't know where they are. They're just like kind of like well, we don't know where they're because they were going to Dende's, so we don't know exactly what they're doing right now. They're probably still there. They just didn't want to show them. They'll probably show them in the next episode, maybe, or maybe the next episode after that. I'm not sure. Because I don't think they're going to get back. I don't think they're going to get to the battle like before this battle ends. Like, I don't think that's happening. As they think they are. Anyways, so Goku eventually, when he's fighting, because Vegeta, wants to fight, and Goku's like, just a teensy bit more, you know, let me fight just a little bit more. And so after Vegeta finally reluctantly says fine, Goku's just like, you've lost all your power. You probably came here, right when you got this golden Frieza form, and now all your power's used up and stuff like that, because Goku starts, he starts winning. Goku starts getting the upper hand in this battle at this point, which is awesome because he's the man. But then after that, they're eventually on the ground, and Goku, or Frieza has the fist. He has the fist, and Goku just blocks it. He just blocks it. Or actually, no, I'm sorry, that was not the part. Goku or Frieza goes in for a punch. He goes in for a punch right on Goku's forehead, and nothing. And Goku's like, I told you, all your power's been drained out. You got nothing now. So it's all drained out there. And, you probably just came on right when you got this God form. And he said, had you waited a little longer, I'd probably be on the floor now. Frieza's just all pissed. He's just bitching. And then before that, he's tells Sorbet, to get the thing ready, the little cheap shot he uses in the movie there. We're going to get to that in a second. Yes, we will get to that. So, Frieza's just all mad. He's like, no, I get my revenge. He can't get his revenge. And so he's mad. And Goku powers down. And, Beerus and Whis had mentioned, he can use his brain, when he wants to, and stuff. Yeah, for fighting, he uses his brain all the time. But, I mean, come on now, because Goku's a genius when it comes to martial arts. But, yeah, anyways. So, Goku, he powers out of his Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan form. And just he kind of gives his little Goku speech, hey, come back, when you actually think you're stronger or whatever, and stuff like this, but, Goshi's just taking him out right then and there. I'm just saying. Oh, no. That was the whole thing. Goku was just baiting Frieza in because he knew that Frieza was going to try to cheap shot him again. I'm just saying. Because that's what Frieza did the last time. I'm just saying. Anyways. Basically, after that whole thing happens, Sorbet shoots Goku with the ray gun. They have the whole, shocked face on Vegeta, Beerus, and Whis and stuff, because, he got hit with it and stuff like that. But I want to just say one thing right now about this whole ray gun thing. Goku was not in Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan form. Unlike the revival of that movie, he powered down, which is a good thing. This is very good. This is a very good retcon because everyone hated, as we all know, the Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan ray gun hit in the movie because it didn't make any sense. This was definitely better and made more logical sense. That Goku would overconfidence, thinking the battle was over, and would power down. It makes more sense, because had he been in the Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan form, he shouldn't have been able to been taken out by a ray gun. And the movie did that, and that's the one thing I know a lot of Dragon Ball Z fans hated about the movie, was the fact that he was in the Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan form when he got shot down with the ray gun by Sorbet, and of course they got rid of it in Super. So despite the fact that there were a lot of bad things that compared to the movie, I guess not everything bad, but the movie was just so much overall better than the Revival of F Super arc so far. So I shouldn't say bad, but compared to the movie so far, I don't think it was as good. Like I said, the transformation sequence was completely like a watered down version from the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan transformation in the movie. So yeah, just completely upgraded, but or completely downgraded compared to the movie. But I will say that this was probably the one time in this whole arc where something happened in the movie that also happened in the series, the Super Series, the Dragon Ball Super Series, that I actually thought was better. I think this was one of the good, was probably one of the only good things that they kept in Super from the movie that I think was right, that they changed it, that he powered down instead of being in Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. I was very happy that they did this. Um, because a lot of people were using this. Oh, well, Goku got taken out by a ray gun in his Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan form. Well, now in the Super, he didn't get taken down with it. He was in base form. So yeah. So yeah, that was a good thing they did. With it. So then after that, Goku starts standing up. He slowly goes down. He's like, "This is how you want to win." And Frieza's like, you're probably one of the strongest people in the cosmos with that Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan form, but your confidence led to your downfall. Because you got taken out by a simple ray gun. Frieza also thanks Sorbet, because Sorbet, is like his servant and stuff like that. He's like, oh, maybe you're not so useless after all, and stuff. For his, Frieza always wants his contingencies to make sure that he gets his revenge. And so, right when Frieza's about to kill Goku, Vegeta steps in and blocks the blast, and he said, and Vegeta just I thought it was kind of funny how they worded that, was like, you seem to have forgotten that I'm in this show, and that's how it ended. And Vegeta had like a grin on his face and stuff like that. So now Vegeta's gonna get involved in this battle now. I thought that was kind of funny how they did that, like, the way he says, haven't you forgotten that I'm in this show? But you could take that into the literal terms, because the show, that Vegeta has been forgotten in this show, rather than just say, have you forgotten about me or something like that. I thought the way they worded that was really interesting. I don't know if that was a dub change or if that was in the original Japanese version with them actually using the dialogue, haven't you forgotten that I'm in this show? But I thought that was funny because you could also take that as referencing that, have you forgotten that I'm in this show? So yeah, I thought that could easily have been depicted as sorry about that. I thought it could easily have been depicted as instead of the simple of saying, "Oh, you forgot about me, you forgot that I was here," or something like that. Instead, they went with the literate, show, which can be referenced to Super, or a bunch of stuff, like that, which I thought was really interesting. I don't know if that was in the original Japanese or not. Or if that was just an English change, but I thought that was really interesting to note that they put that specific dialogue in there, for Vegeta. But it was a kind of a funny way to end the show, saying, "Oh, you forgot I was in this show," because Goku's the star of the show, but Vegeta, is there. He's like, "Oh, you forgot I was in this show," rather than just saying, "You seem to have forgotten me, Frieza," or something like that. So very interesting way to end the show. At least I thought it was. A couple of things to note too, as since this episode is pretty much over for this review, was they did change the ending credits. It is in a Japanese theme song, which I'm sure they will replace that in a few episodes with the English dialogue like they did for the first ending theme song. But because that's what happened. It was about 4 episodes in, so we'll see if they do that here for this theme song. But also to note is, I wish they would do that for the regular theme song instead of the Japanese singer trying to speak fluent English, because there's a lot of times where he chops out and it's really hard to understand what he's saying because he's talking too quickly. Which is why I say you have to have an English singer sing a Japanese song for English people to understand it fully. And that's what I think. And so the the way they just don't do that, which again, that really annoys me that they don't do that, because like I said, it's much better to have an English singer sing. For me, when you're dubbing something in English, it should be everything. It shouldn't just be the episode itself. It should be the song, it should be the ending song, the whole 9 yards. Obviously, not many people use replacement scores, but for the theme songs and the ending songs, they have to be translated in English. Whether you're going to make your own English theme song, adaptation theme song, or you're going to, translate it word for word of the actual Japanese theme song, you have to translate it in English. And this is what really bugs me about dubbing companies, that they don't do that anymore, and it's just lazy, in my opinion. It's just laziness. Some people say it's because the Japanese companies don't allow it. But to me, I think you don't get the full. I don't think you get the full effect of the show if you're not getting everything dubbed. It's not just about the episode getting dubbed. You need the whole thing dubbed. So to me, I think they need to change that. I think it should be when you get a license, when something goes up for licensing, the whole 9 yards should go up for licensing. The theme song, because the theme song is a part of the episode. The theme song is a part of the episode. The opening and the ending are a part of the episode. So how is that not included into the license? People say, "Oh, well, it's song rights," but obviously the people that are singing those songs, obviously they have to go through Toki Animation's payroll to be in there in the first place. So when you get a license, it should work that whole way, that the whole episode automatically, including the songs, should automatically go to the license holder. That's how it should work. I don't understand how they can get around and say, "Oh, well, that's not allowed." I mean, especially, 4Kids has been doing it for years. I know what people are going to say about that, but 4K Media still does it, which 4K Media are 4Kids right now. But they changed their songs, though. They changed their theme songs still. So I guess you can't really fully count that, because right now we're talking about just translating the exact same theme song word for word into English. But you get my point at this point, right? So that's what I think they need to do for this, because that is a huge issue for me, having to see all these songs never getting dubbed anymore. It's just ridiculous. It needs to stop. It really does. They need to change that. I'm sorry, that needs to be changed. It should be the whole episode. The whole episode to me counts as a whole. It counts as a license to me. That's how it should work. But yeah, because you can't understand it really. You have to go up in the ear hole and stuff like that, and it's ridiculous. Trying to understand the butchered English. I know he's trying. I'm not trying to diss the man, but for that type of stuff, you need to have someone that legitimately speaks English, so the audience can understand what he's saying. And you don't get that with a Japanese singer trying to speak English. because it's not fully English. It's him trying to foreignly speak it, and it's just, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't sound good at all, because you have to put your ear up to, the TV to and blast it over to try and actually make out what the hell he's saying. And that's ridiculous. And I've said that before. But also, I want to remind people about the Blu-ray and DVDs for Dragon Ball Super Volume 1 comes out tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to be getting it tomorrow because Funimation hasn't sent it out for some reason. I've sent them an email because I pre-ordered it through their website. They should have already shipped it out, but like the Code Geass OVA, they have not. And I sent them an email, and on their Twitter Funimation help thing or whatever, which is also why they need a damn phone number. I still have said this before, and they don't listen, of course. Just horrible communication with them, because that's stuff that they should be doing. So I'm gonna be probably waiting. Someone reminded me about it yesterday, actually, and that's actually when I actually checked about it to see if Funimation had sent it out, because I didn't get an email, and it was that whole reactivation thing on the order thing, and I was like, oh my god, they did it again. This is the same thing they did with my Code Geass OVA a month ago. So I'm probably not going to get it until probably a day or two after the release date, depending on how the shop team, works here, because the shop team doesn't know what they're doing, apparently, because this is the second time they've done it to me. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, so next, so I'm just reminding people basically that that's where you can go to get that whole thing done. For anyone who wants to do that, but obviously you won't be able to watch these because this is the first 13 episodes. However, I will say this right now, Volume 2, which is the revival of F-Arc, will be available for pre-order, and I believe it comes out October. It does come out in the month October. I believe it's October 2nd. I believe that's what it was. I did get an email about it. If I can find it. I don't know if I'm gonna have to. I don't know if I'm doing it on Funimation's website. I'm gonna probably pre-order it on Right Stuff if this shit keeps happening, though, with Funimation's shop team here, because they don't apparently know what they're doing. So yeah, we'll see what we're going here. Let's see, pre-order. I believe it is the 2nd. I'm gonna try to get the whole information for you guys here. Let's see. It's got Frieza's. On the logo, or on the cover, which is kind of funny. Alright, so it's going to be available October 3rd, people. October 3rd, it will be available to pre-order. Or it will be available on that day. Yeah, you can order that for pre-order for people that have not been able to watch because of cable, since it's not available on the Funimation Now stream service. That's where you go. I would recommend pre-ordering it on Right Stuff, though, at this point, because Funimation, I don't know, their shop team is bad. This is the 2nd time they've done it to me, so I wouldn't. So yeah. Anyways, that was just kind of trying to add a couple notes to some of the stuff. Like I said, obviously this review is a little late because I was at Fan World, so that's why it's late for anyone who hasn't realized that yet, or if you haven't watched any of my con videos or Fan World videos that are uploaded. That's why. Hopefully, I'll be getting to the other reviews as well, but obviously, Dragon Ball Super always comes first for any reviews. So yeah, those are a couple things to note about all this stuff. Like I said, overall, good episode. It'll be really interesting to see how they transfer into this arc. Because the whole thing with Vegeta, fighting, and then, the planet being destroyed, and then, the planet being revived by Whis, and then Goku going in for the Kamehameha kill at the end for Frieza. It's really interesting to see how they're going to be able to condense that into 24 episodes, because this is supposedly the last episode of the arc, unless they're doing a transitional thing. I believe the next arc for officially the new material, since we get finally past the movies continuities of Dragon Ball Super at this point, I believe the arc is called the Universe 6 arc, and it's, unless they're transferring into, the revival of F arc right to the Universal arc, where, people start coming involved at that moment once they defeat Frieza. Unless that happens, I can't see how they're going to be able to finish this battle in 24 minutes. Because there was a lot more screen time in the movies for this. For the stuff that they did to condense all this last sequence of events. I think is a lot for one episode. But, like I said, overall, everything was good. It's just not as good as the movie, with the exception of that retcon they did with Goku's laser thing. That was probably the only good thing that was done that they improved on in this revival of F arc. There was a lot better. There was some. It was kind of even with the Battle of Gods arc, but for the revival of F arc, for the most part, it was some of the stuff was kind of the same, just dumbed down, which the movie quality was better. But obviously, that retcon with the ray gun was probably the best thing they did. So that was probably the best thing that was done in this arc, for them retelling the stuff in the movies. But everything else, it was just kind of like, okay, the Ginyu thing was fan service, but I mean, I could have done without that whole Ginyu thing, the Captain Ginyu thing. But I guess it does give a conclusion to Captain Ginyu's death. But yeah, that's about it. All the links in the description box for the groups, English Dub Super Group, as well as Dragon Ball Z English Dub Super Group, or English Dragon Ball Z Dub Group, as well as where you can watch it legally on Adult Swim, Toonami, stream service. Comment, rate, let me know what you guys think, obviously. And that's about it, guys. I am the SS Ultimate Goku, and I'm out of here. Peace.